At the heart of the community, Michael Boyd on Radio West Fife.
Hi, we're live at the Food Standards Agency event in the Kingsgate Centre in the centre of Dunfermline, and we're at the Safe Food and Healthy Eating for All event. And I'm shortly going to be chatting to Louise Garden, who's a member of the Food Standards Agency. Louise, can you just tell me a bit about your role and what you do in the Food Standards Agency?
I'm the Food Standards Agency's events and PR manager for Scotland. So sort of half my job is the event side of things like we're doing today, getting out, speaking to consumers and so on, and just bringing our healthy eating messages to them, as well as food safety.
So we're speaking to the right person. This event today, I see there's a large display with the chef in the centre, and we're going to be speaking to him shortly, but what's the main message you're trying to get out here?
Well, we're trying to convey our food safety and healthy eating messages to consumers, so any little message that they can pick up and go away with. We find that everybody seems to leave having learnt something. So we do a food hygiene quiz, and we've got a healthy eating quiz as well, and all the answers are on the back. So we read these back to people and find that, you know, there's simple messages like whether or not you wash your chicken, for example. Most people think that you should wash your chicken, but in actual fact you shouldn't, and it's amazing the amount of people that go away from the stand just learning something simple like that.
Yeah, I've got a colleague at work who insists on washing his chicken, and I just shake my head at it because, you know, I just keep on saying that. But he's from South Africa, and that's the way they do it out there.
Okay, yeah, and a lot of people seem to question it when we do tell them that you're not supposed to wash chicken and say that they do it. Some people today have said that they've dried it afterwards with kitchen roll and things like that. So, yeah, it's just interesting to hear what people's perceptions are, and maybe they've picked up messages from other places, and it's just kind of setting the record straight a little bit.
And there's such a variety of foods nowadays, isn't there? Is this why this has come to being, the Food Standards Agency, or have they always been around?
The Food Standards Agency was established in the year 2000, so there's different branches within the agency. We deal with nutrition, enforcement issues. We've got guys that work out in the meat plants, we've got vets, so there's a variety of roles within the agency which covers every area really.
So food standards, people would think back to the burger scandal. Is that something that the Food Standards Agency would deal with?
Yes, we would. We'd work with the relevant local authorities. If there was something like a food poisoning outbreak in a particular area, we'd work with the local authorities on that. And all the agencies just sort of get together to give the right information to the media, get the information out to the consumers as well.
Hi, we're back at the Food Standards Agency event and Safe Food and Healthy Eating for All event. And I'm with Louise Garden, who's from the Food Standards Agency. She's going to ask me a couple of questions, about 9 or 10 questions, basic questions about food standards and food hygiene. So it's a food hygiene quiz. So the first question is, Louise,
true or false, you can reheat leftovers as many times as you like?
I would say that's a bit dodgy. It sounds a bit dodgy, reheating leftovers. And that's a no-no to me.
Yeah, you're correct. You should only reheat leftovers once. The more times you cool and reheat a food, the more potential there is for food poisoning. Bacteria might grow and multiply because the food is cooled too slowly and might survive because the food isn't reheated properly. And so when you do reheat as well, you should make sure that the food's reheated thoroughly and make sure that it's steaming hot all the way through.
There you go, you can only reheat food once. And the next question is,
true or false, if something is cooked on the outside, it will definitely be cooked on the inside?
Well, I don't think that's necessarily true in my experience. I remember dishing up some beef burger soup, which were quite thick and not very well done in the middle, and I didn't get a very good write-up.
Yeah, you're correct, that's false. Most forms of cooking involve heat penetrating the food from the outside, so although the surface may be cooked, the centre may not be. It's therefore important to make sure that the food is thoroughly cooked all the way through.
Excellent. And the next question is number 3. I'm interested about number 3.
This is a bit of a multiple choice one. Which of these types of meats are safe to eat, rare/pink? So you've got beef, lamb, pork, chicken, minced meat, sausages and burgers. Wow.
I would guess that the beef is the only one that's, you can do it rare. That's the only thing that I've had rare. What about yourself?
Well, that is what most people tend to answer with this quiz, but lamb also falls into that category.
Lamb. And it's quite difficult to see whether lamb's cooked in the middle, isn't it?
But yeah, well, it says here in our quiz, it's fine to eat steaks and other whole cuts of beef and lamb rare as long as the outside has been properly cooked or sealed. Steaks are usually sealed in a frying pan over a high heat, and it's important to seal the meat to kill any bacteria that might be on the outside. So in terms of lamb, well, just to reiterate really, you shouldn't eat poultry, pork, burgers or sausages rare or pink.
There you go. Be careful on how you cook your meat and make sure it's thoroughly cooked. Unless it's beef, of course, or a good sirloin steak.
Okay, so your fourth question is, how can you tell that chicken is properly cooked? So the options you've got is that it's hot on the outside, it's not pink, the juices run clear after the time stated on the instructions, it's golden brown, or it's steaming hot all the way through. Now, I'll give you a little hint with this one. It's actually 3 of these that would be correct for that one.
It's 3 of these. How can you tell that chicken's properly cooked? Well, I would imagine, Louise, that the juices run clear. I remember my mother telling me that. And it's got to be steaming hot all the way through. Once you sliced it, it should be steaming from the centre, and it's not pink.
Yeah, there you go. You're telling our messages. You've got all that right.
See, I can invite anyone round to my place, and they just wouldn't get food poisoning at all, would they?
Doesn't sound like it. No, I can't guarantee it, but it doesn't sound like it. So to go on to the 5th one, true or false, it is important to clean chopping boards / utensils after using them for raw meat.
Oh no, not at all. Just give them, just put them back where they were.
Well, that one you have got wrong, I'm afraid. Bacteria can transfer from the meat to the chopping boards or utensils, so when they're used, they should be washed, basically. And the bacteria could transfer onto the food if they're not washed, and that is known as cross-contamination.
There you go, cross-contamination from food utensils and chopping boards must be washed as soon as.
Absolutely. So question 6, true or false, you only need to clean hands and kitchen surfaces when they look dirty?
Well, if you're under 5, that applies, yeah?
Yeah, of course, that one is false as well. You can't see bacteria with the naked eye, and therefore, yeah, you should always wash your hands, work surfaces, and so on. You know, it's common sense, really. If you've touched pets or anything like that, you must wash your hands before and after food preparation.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but when I'm going out for a takeaway and I see the person that's cooked the food handling money and then handling my food, I don't like that.
Yeah, no, they should be washing their hands and before and after, like the quiz says there.
There you go, all the takeaways in Dunfermline, you've now been told by the Food Standards Agency. And the next question, Louise.
Okay, true or false, you should wash chicken and other poultry before cooking?
Oh yeah, put it in the washing machine and then cook it.
Okay, maybe not at your house then. No, that is false. Now this is one that a lot of people get wrong. They just automatically assume that chicken should be washed, but research has shown that the bacteria in the water droplets can spread easily by splashing onto worktops, dishes and other foods. So this makes food poisoning more likely to occur if you wash your chicken.
Eek! So don't do that then. Don't wash your chicken, just leave it and put it in the oven or put it in the pan or fry it in oil or whatever you're doing with it. And the final question, just the final question? Oh, we've got 2 more to go.
Okay, so question 8, it's another true or false. Raw meat should be stored at the top of the fridge. Is that true or false?
Oh no, that's another one that my mother told me, because the blood could drip into the food below. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. Raw meat should be stored covered at the bottom of the fridge to avoid it dripping onto the other foods and causing food poisoning, again through cross-contamination.
I remember seeing that on How Clean Is Your House as well, where the guy had all his raw meat in the perfect place, but it wasn't quite, you know, it was quite rancid.
Okay, so his fridge was okay, but not the rest of the house, right? Okay. Oh well, he had one thing sorted.
So, question number 9.
Why is it important to dry your hands after washing them? And it's a multiple choice, so it's so that they don't drip, so that your hands don't get cold, or that germs spread more easily from wet hands.
Well, my thinking is that if you wash your hands, then there's no germs on them, so it should be that they don't drip.
Yeah, that's true. There shouldn't be germs on them right enough, but it's quite surprising. The Food Standards Agency have actually got a glitter bug tool that we use with children. So they put some glitter on their hands and put it under a UV light after they've washed their hands. And if there's still glitter on there, it shows you the areas that you haven't covered. So there is a proper technique to washing your hands, which many of us probably don't know. But yes, evidence is showing that bacteria spreads more readily in the presence of moisture. So that's why you need to dry your hands thoroughly after washing.
So there you go. It's very important to dry your hands very thoroughly. Can I just ask you, people have heard about these gels, the gels you can buy in the shop. Are they any good, the hygiene gels?
Yeah, we do actually have some with us today that we've been giving away to people at the stand, and just a little pocket gel that you can carry around with you. So, yeah, we would advise that you could use them as well.
Excellent. Okay, thanks for that, Louise. Hi, we're live here at the Food Standards Agency event, and we have Brian Gunn, who's the chef, who's been demonstrating good hygiene techniques and good healthy eating techniques at the event. Brian, how are you doing today? Has it been busy?
It has been, yeah. It's been. We started off well this morning. There was a good crowd gathered. Did the second demonstration, started about 1 o'clock, and I think a lot of people away for lunch then, so it started off quite slow, but by the time you're sort of halfway through and there's sort of samples going out, people start gathering around then, and they're more interested when the samples started coming out, I think, But,
so what sort of samples were you giving them? Was it new food that they'd never tasted before, or?
No, not essentially. It's the recipes. There's 8 recipes in the pack, and they're all sort of normal, everyday sort of recipes. They're designed for eating, every day in the house. It's nothing too celebratory or that. But the main emphasis on the recipes is obviously the healthy eating angle. Low salt, low sugar, low fat, and it's an increase of fibre where we can as well. A lot of people think these things, you have to you can't eat any fat or any sugar, but that's not the case. It's just cutting down the amounts we eat. So there are things that have cream in them, and there are things that have some sugar in them, but just not huge quantities. And it's to show that you can make a difference by just making some slight changes.
So what we need to do is maybe reduce the portion size rather than cut the actual quantity. Well,
not even so much the portion size. I mean, the recipes are designed around sort of everyday home cooking, what you would have in the house, but it's just. We have 2 soups in the pack there, and there's literally a pinch of salt in each one, and the flavours that come into the dishes we draw from other things like spices and herbs and the vegetables and things themselves, without adding excessive amounts of salt or excessive amounts of things that you don't need.
So are you cooking mainly from fresh ingredients here on the stage?
Yes, everything. So we're not promoting anybody's products, but all the ingredients that we use came out of a supermarket this morning. It's just to show the people at home that everything is accessible. None of these ingredients we have to grow ourselves, especially, or import or buy from any sort of specialist shops or buy online. Everything, if you're going to get your messages at the shop, everything is accessible to you, so you can try these things at home.
And you can actually cook these things in the same time as it would take some ready meals or shove in the oven stuff that you can buy in the shops.
Pretty much, maybe give an extra 5-10 minutes for the preparation, because you have obviously cut things up and chop things up yourself, do your own preparation. But as far as cooking times go, I mean, the whole demonstration lasts an hour, and then that time we split the book into 2 sort of half sets. So we do 4 recipes in each demonstration. It lasts about an hour, so we're average 15 minutes to produce one dish. The soups don't take long. If it took any longer than that, people would just switch off and wander away. So you need to have these things ready pretty quickly, and the whole point is people are watching you make it there and then, so it doesn't take that huge amount of time, no.
So has there been any particular sort of popular recipes that have come across from the crowd here in Dunfermline?
Again, I think it's a good mix. A lot of people like the soups. I mean, it's a cold day here, and it's kind of soup weather, so people are quite interested in that. But a lot of them, they show interest in most things.
So, Brian, I've just been talking to Louise Garden about the hygiene issues. I mean, as a chef, what can you identify as the main hygiene issue in food preparation?
Well, in my professional capacity, working in a professional kitchen, cleanliness is a key thing, but obviously we need to have traceability, and we need to keep records on everything we do, from fridge temperatures to the temperatures we cook food to. Everything has to be kept and recorded and logged, and we follow our sort of own sort of in-house guidelines about colour-coded chopping boards to prevent cross-contamination and things. But we're trying to take that and then sort of pass these messages on to people for in the house. We're not doing this in a professional capacity. We're trying to show people at home what to do. But certainly I think people ask a lot of questions about fridge temperatures, and make sure that their fridges are at the correct temperature. And a lot of people are very unsure about cross-contamination. It's a spread of bacteria from sort of raw food items like raw meat and raw fish onto things that are ready to eat, and aren't aware that just simplest things like washing your chopping board between each use. We use a colour-coded chopping board system here for the demonstration, as we would do at work. But nobody has 6 colour-coded boards in the house. So you've not got the space or the money to buy these things. And the simple way around that is just make sure that you wash your knives and your chopping boards between each use. So if you're chopping up a raw chicken for something, and then you're going to make a fruit salad after it, you can't use the same board. You have to clean it, and it's as simple as that. That comes up quite a lot. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Make sure your water's hot enough, to kill off any bacteria and bugs are there. We prefer an anti-bac soap, really, and we're not promoting any sort of specific product, but a good anti-bac washing up liquid, plain of hot water, and just make sure you wash it and rinse it properly and dry it. It's just very simple stuff.
Well, Brian, thanks for chatting us today. Thanks. So I'm at the Food Standards Agency event in the Kingsgate, right here in the centre of Dunfermline, and I'm looking at Brian Gunn, the head chef here. He's preparing, I don't know what he's preparing, it's like apples and sultanas in the middle. What's that?
These are, the recipe packs is these are called mincemeat stars. And what it is, it's a variation on a kind of mince pie type of thing. Like part of the sort of healthy eating option in the recipes. A mince pie, pastry top and a pastry on the bottom. So there's a lot of fat in there. Pastry contains got a lot of fat. So this is a variation on that. We've got an apple base. We scoop it out and fill it with mincemeat and then put a layer of pastry over the top of it. So you're reducing the fat content and increasing the sort of fruit content, which is again the guidelines what we're looking at on the Eat Well plate here. And it's something that the dish was originally designed for the pre-Christmas recipe pack. It was to allow kids to be involved in a bit of cooking at Christmas as well. They can cut out the pastry and stuff and help in the kitchen, and just bring a bit of fruit into their diet.
We like to show with what we're doing here that these are really simple to Brian. He's head chef at a really high-end exclusive establishment up in Glencoe, and
name it.
Glencoe House.
Glencoe House, right.
So it's a real sort of private suites, private dining type establishment, with lots of overseas visitors and so on looking for a really high-end Scottish cuisine. So Brian cooks at that level, but he comes and does this because he passionately believes in the messages that we're communicating.
Of course, yeah.
And also, the recipes are really simple, but to the general public, it might be that they've never made soup before, or we had a bunch of school kids here earlier on who just were lapping it up. So
yeah. And all you need is a blender.
No, you don't. You don't even need a blender.
You need a pot.
No, you need a pot. A pot and a knife.
Pot and a knife, and that's it.
Sorry? And a cooker.
And a cooker, yeah.
Sometimes. And the fridge at the right temperature, yeah. If it was as easy as that, we wouldn't have all this kit, but yes. But really, the essentials are fairly basic. So, there shouldn't be any barriers to anyone actually picking up a pot and a spoon and giving it a go. And as these recipes show, they're really, really simple, really tasty, and very healthy.
None of these recipes are, there's things in here we use up spices and herbs and things. If you don't like it,
change it.
Nothing. If you say I don't fancy the chilli in that, I don't like the chilli, leave it out. The recipe's still going to work. It's not going to just fall apart.
Did you get a copy? Demonstration unit at the top of the mall. Come and see us. We're about to start our next demonstration today. We're demonstrating some beautiful, healthy, delicious dishes that are just right for this time of year. Some warming soups, some great dishes to do with your leftovers, and some fantastic puddings. And if that sounds too good to be true, well, it's we're calling it Healthy New Year Roadshow that we're doing. If you've made a New Year's resolution to perhaps eat a little bit healthier, then come on down, because there's fantastic recipes that you can pick up and watch. Brian, what's cooking now?
Okay, good afternoon everybody. We've got the recipe pack here. As Catherine said, we've got we're almost into February now. New Year's passed, we're into February. And those of you who made New Year's resolutions, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to eat more healthily and all this, you're starting to wane a bit now, I know. So this is just to sort of prompt that again and keep you going on the right tracks.
At the heart of the community, Michael Boyd on Radio West Fife.